My friends, I want to lay some spiritual truth to you concerning addiction, but first things first. Jesus said, when an unclean spirit goes out of a person, it wanders about dry places seeking rest, and it finds none. So it says within itself, I will go back to the home from which I came. And when it returns, it finds the home empty, swept, and put in order. And so it goes and gets 7 spirits more wicked than itself, and the last state of that person is worse than the beginning. Now, it's no coincidence that when someone gets clean for some time and ends up relapsing, that they usually pick up right where they left off, or in most cases, worse off than they were before. And that's because this battle is spiritual, and we have need to view it through a spiritual lens. I want you to consider methamphetamine. Methamphetamine is a mixture and manipulation of chemicals into a substance that creates a mind-altering and body-altering effect. And that, my friends, is sorcery. Sorcery is a form of witchcraft, and those who practice witchcraft are subject to the effects of witchcraft. Now, a person using these drugs will not know and be aware that they are practicing witchcraft or engaging in it because they are not doing it in a traditional sense. But you do not have to practice it in a traditional sense to participate in it and be subjected to the effects and torment of the mind. This is why so many people under the influence of this drug have shared delusions, paranoias. They see shadow people. They hear things. They feel like they're being watched and stalked. And it is because the veil of darkness is lifted from them and they are subjected to the workings of darkness. And so I want to take you back to what Christ said. He says, when the unclean spirit returns, it finds the home empty, swept, and put in order. This denotes that the house was clean and swept, but it was empty. A lot of people think that abstaining from using drugs and alcohol is what gets you free from the bondage of addiction. But being clean from drugs and alcohol does not provide the freedom. It is the first step. But the chains only get broken off when you confront the roots. And the roots lie in the trauma that you have endured, the behaviors that you haven't addressed, and the environment that you have been subjected to. Until you start acknowledging these things and turning in your mind your way of thinking, you will always be held bound by the forces of addiction and always revert back, in most cases, to what has always kept you chained up. And so the scripture says, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. So when the house is empty, it must be filled with the right things in order for unclean things to not come back in. It is supposed to be a temple of the Spirit of God. And when you put unclean substances in your body, in this temple, you desecrate what is meant to be holy and therefore open the door for unholy things to come in. And so we must be filled with the Spirit of God. We must be filled with the Spirit of truth in order to keep these things out and keep reverting back to things which cause self-destruction and torment in the mind. So in short, freedom from the bondage of addiction is not just staying clean. It is addressing the things that the devil used to bring you into addiction in the first place. If you need help, if you are struggling in this area, if you know someone who is, please reach out to me, because my heart is for the people who are struggling in this, because I know how strong those